Good morning. My name is Michelle Kelton and I'm with NC Tech, and we are glad to have you join us this morning to learn more about the virtual job fairs that we offer as the association. And we are lucky to have Premier Virtual, our partner on the virtual job fairs, with us to demo the platform, and that will give you, if you are already signed up to participate as an employer, or if you're considering participating as an employer, or if you're a job seeker and you're interested in taking a look at how a virtual job fair operates. NC Tech has long provided talent and workforce initiatives and resources to our member companies in the greater technology community in North Carolina. We had been doing in-person job fairs for nearly 10 years in both the Charlotte and the Raleigh markets. In 2020, we quickly pivoted in the springtime to offer our first virtual job expo. This will be the one coming up on March 9th, our 5th virtual job expo. All of them we've partnered with Premier Virtual to deliver. And we have gotten great feedback from participating companies, and Premier Virtual has done a great job at adding and improving features to make the usability of the platform and the experience for both employers and job seekers continues to improve as folks get more used to utilizing the virtual aspects of a job expo. I am going to go ahead and turn it over to Jordan Ambers. I will encourage you, as Jordan goes through the platform, she will show you how to set up your virtual booth, how to add recruiters, how to post your jobs, how to interact live during the event, how to run reports. So there's quite a bit of information. So as Jordan goes through the platform, feel free to submit your questions through Q&A, and we'll try to tackle those as we go. And we'll leave a little bit of time on the end of the webinar to address any other questions that you might have. So Jordan, you'll go ahead and share your screen.
Perfect, thank you. All right, good morning, everyone. My name is Jordan Ambers. I'm one of the client success managers at Premier Virtual. And today, just as Michelle had mentioned, we're going to be walking through the platform, going through some of the logistics and using the system. First thing that I do want to review with you will be the registration process. So for those who have already registered, perfect. This will just be, a review for you. For those who have not registered yet, this will be a look into how easy it is to register on our platform. So first thing is the registration page. Everyone should have received the link here if you're willing to participate. There is some information here in the info section for you to review, booth registration fees, and additional information in here for you. On the right side, we have the schedule. So the attendees will actually have early access into the event starting March 1st. At 12 p.m. and they'll have that access until the start date of the event, so March 9th at 8:30. So if you are participating, make sure the bulk of your booth information is submitted by March 1st, so that when the attendees do have access into the lobby, they will have some information to look at. Now to register, you're going to click into register for event, and there are two tabs here. So the first tab is sign in, and then the second tab is register as organization. So if you are completely new to using our newer platform in Premier Virtual, you will need to register as organization and create a new account, providing your username and password here and selecting I've read terms and conditions. If this is not your first time in an event on our newer platform, you can simply sign in. It will carry over that booth information that you've created in a previous event on this platform. So I do have a booth. I'm going to go ahead and provide my username and password. Google Chrome is great because it always saves, username and password, so you don't really have to remember. Sign in, and the new setup wizard takes you through step-by-step in providing your booth information. So first step, just being your basic info, provide your name, your phone number, your first and last name, and your locality. So you can put your locality in here. and zip code. Continue. Step 2 will be adding your logo. And we do have for best results what sizing your logo needs to be in here, 500 by 250, and the only image file types that are accepted, which are going to be JPEG files and PNG files. So if you do try to upload, a PDF file in here or, a different image file, it's not going to take. So do make sure that you are providing the correct images in here. Okay. Then step 3 will be adding a brief overview of your organization. So this is an HTML box, just like Word. So you can copy and paste information in here, or you can simply type your info in here. You can add hyperlinks by using the link icon, just providing your link in the text to display. You can add images by clicking on the image and providing an image URL. To receive an image URL, all you need to do is right-click the image that you want to input, select copy image address or web address, and then paste that right in here so your image will be provided down below. Once it's loaded into the HTML box, you'll be able to, size it differently and right align, left align, center it, whatever you'd like to do as far as customization as well. Step 4, adding your website and social media links. So each text box here is labeled with the website that you need to copy and paste in each box. So your website, LinkedIn for the company, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. Just provide what you have. If you don't have, if your company doesn't have all the social media handles, no problem. Just copy and paste whatever you do have. And then in addition to adding your website and social media links, you have 3 free spaces to add whatever websites of your choice. So I would not use these 3 spaces to provide social media or your website, since that is provided here. Use this space to maybe directly link your careers page, add the benefits section of your company's website, maybe even a video. But you can add 3 additional links here, and then you'll title them on the left side. Step number 5 will be adding any additional recruiters. So currently, when you're the one registering the booth or your organization, you're the only one who has access to the booth at that point. So if you want to add your coworkers who may be assisting you with adding information to your booth after you've registered, or to participate in chatting with attendees on the day of the event, they're also going to need login credentials. So you'll do that by clicking Add New User, providing their first and last name, an email address for their username, and administering a user role. There are 3 different user roles now. So the administrators, they have access to add new information to the booth, remove, revise information, as well as chat and pull reporting afterwards. Editors only have the ability to revise information that already exists. So after the registration's been complete, if there are a few missing, pieces of information or some things that need to be changed, the editor can go in and revise existing information. They can also chat on the day of the event and pull reporting as well. Now, representatives are a view-only role. So for those users who don't need to, be making any changes or adding new information to the booth, they would be representatives because they can't do any revisions or adding any information. They can only chat on the day of the event and pull reporting. So those are their 2 features that they have. So make sure you provide the appropriate user role for your recruiters. Manually set the password. I do recommend manually setting the passwords. Depending on what the recruiter's username that you're providing, if this is a work email, which is probably has some heavy security in it. If you do not select manually set password, this is leaving it up to the system to send out an email to that username's email address. Now, depending on the email security, it may get completely blocked or it could fall into the spam folder. So I just recommend that you manually set the password. And then once you've added all your recruiters, send an email to them with their login information, and then the registration page link that you have so they can log in with that link. It just ensures that everyone gets their information, whereas the system, if it's never sure. If depending on email security, you can never be sure. Then select Save Changes, and you have saved your user. Now, bad example of what I'm showing here as far as my demo, I highly recommend that you only have 1 to 2 administrators. So this, doesn't leave a lot of room for error as far as people who are not supposed to be adding information, adding it or removing it. And then, have as many editors and representatives as you need. Step number 6 is adding job postings. So you can do that by clicking Add New Job Posting. Show you an example here. It just requires the job name, location, available vacancies. You can add the salary if you choose. It's not a required field, but you can add it now if you'd like. And all jobs that are going to be visible for this event will be active. The only reason why you would disable a job vacancy, and these are, I'm talking to the people who already had an account in the new system and have already participated in some events in the system. Maybe, the previous event that you participated in, this job, needed to be featured in that event, but doesn't really necessarily need to be featured in this event. You can disable it from being visible on your booth. So it doesn't, remove it completely from your booth. It just makes it it doesn't make it visible on your booth during this event. So you could go back later, in a different event if you wanted to make it visible and activate it again. But for all of the people who are registering, every single one of your job vacancies that you're adding new to your booth should be active. Step number 2 will be adding the description of the job. So you can copy and paste this directly from your website. Now, if you are copying and pasting it directly from your careers website, sometimes there is a small error that you may run into. And that has everything to do with formatting. It's the type of text information that you are copying from your website and adding into the platform. Sometimes it doesn't connect. So you may get an error that says, 8,000 characters, you're over 8,000 characters when you only probably have like 1,000 actual characters in the text. It's referring to the formatting of the text, meaning, the font, the different color maybe that the text is, the formatting that they had in your company website. So to remove that, you'll just highlight your text. There's a formatting icon, select remove format, and you're good to go. So then you can select continue. It'll allow you to the 3rd step, which is just to review. You can click into the edit icon. It'll open up for you here so you can view any, information that you may need to revise, and select complete to make sure that you have completed the vacancy to add it. Step number 7 is choosing your booth background. So if you click into edit booth here, we have 60 different designs for you in here. Before we only had like 13. So we have a lot for you to choose from. 10 different categories. You can look at it in a grid view here, or there's a list view here for you. And when you select a particular category, let's say office, there are different designs here for you. Then when you select into an office design, there are different avatars you can choose from, or you can simply choose to not have an avatar. So you do not have to have one. The logo section here is only to show you placement and where your logo is going to go. Some people are confused and they think that their logo should be visible in this area, which I could understand, but this is just to show logo placement. Confirm and complete your registration. So registered for events, everything's completed there. Does anyone have any questions for me about registration before we move on? All right, perfect. Now, after you've registered, you have a dashboard and different menu items to help manage and revise your booth. To get there, you are going to click on your name in the top right corner here, select dashboard, or you can select it here under the first menu item right in there. Now, your dashboard is going to show you the 4 most current events that you've registered for. So in here, the last current one was yesterday. So you can have the access to access your booth from this area and to get to your reporting from this area as well, which we'll get more into that in a moment. This attendees list gives you a full list of attendees, visitors that have ever come to your booth in any event that you've registered to on this platform. So this is kind of like your master list here. You can view any attendee profile just by clicking on this arrow. It'll open up for you to view. You can view this information at any time after the event. You can view the resumes, download them from here. They may have a video resume linked to their account, they may not. And then their work experience will be visible to you as well. Your events tab lists every event that you've registered to, so you can easily view them. You can access your booth just by clicking on this arrow here. You can access your booth, the registration page, some details about the event. So some summary numbers you can take a look at after or during the event of how many attendees visited your booth, how many chat conversations are going on, messages back and forth, attendees that are currently active in your booth, submitted resumes, interview scheduled and hired, which we will review when we get into the interaction part of the platform. This attendees list is going to list every attendee that has visited your booth during this particular event. So you have access to those profiles, and you'll have your 3 reporting here as well. So if you participated in last year's event, these are the same 3 reports that you receive. A full visitors list of everyone who came to visit your booth, all your chat conversations, and the resumes that were submitted to your jobs. You can easily export any one of these reports just by clicking on the report type, selecting generate, and it'll start to generate for you on the right side here. Once it's done, you just click the download icon and it'll download to your device. Training. So we do have training information in here for you. Every single video, the user guides, frequently asked questions, and the ability to chat with our IT and customer support. So if you need any assistance, this training tool in the platform is going to be very, very helpful to you. For organizations will be for any of you companies in here. You have all of the training videos right in here. The user guide to download PDF. Frequently asked questions and answers, which we as client success managers create. Questions that we get every day, all the time. These are always updated. So you have the most frequently asked questions and answers in here at all times. Then if you need to still chat with an agent, say you're having technical issues, you can chat with our IT and support team here. You do have a way to share files. So if you need to screenshot an error message that you're receiving or something that you're seeing that you're not understanding, you can send that right into our IT and support team. Then you also have the accessibility menu. He's going to be everywhere throughout the event, so he's not in just a training area. Anywhere that you are in the platform, you'll have this little guy available to you. You can use any of these accessibility menu items that you need. I normally use the big cursor. It helps me out a lot when I'm switching between different screens so that I don't lose my cursor in one screen or the next. It's kind of hard to find it sometimes. And then underneath settings, you have My Organization. This is where you can revise your booth information after it's been registered. So your general data has, the logo, your name, bio, social media, locality, date you registered. If you ever need to edit just the general information, you're going to click Edit Organization. And it's only going to take you to this general area here to revise this info. Now, the Users tab provides you with every user of your booth. So if you need to revise a booth, you can click into Edit here. Revise a user profile. Let's say Hillary forgot her password, which, it always happens. You can click into Edit Password here, revise your user's password for them, and then send them their new password. Job postings allows you to revise, delete, or add new postings from here. And the booth tab has those 3 custom links and your booth backgrounds. Now, View as Attendee will open your booth up for you so you can see what it looks like, from an attendee perspective. You can click into all the items just like an attendee would, so you can see how everything presents, make sure that your links are going to, the right websites and things like that, and then you can exit out here. My schedule. So this allows you to provide available time to speak with or to interview with attendees. So if you want to aside some time, you can always do this sporadically during the event, which I think is the best way. But if you did want to, leave time to be able to schedule attendees to schedule that, you can go right into your calendar. Say it's March 9th, it's the event from 8:30 to 1:30. So I'm actually going to just be available from, let's say 9 to, I always do that, 9 to 12. So I put my availability, save. Now an attendee will be able to see the available times they can meet with you, and they can select from a time to meet with you for 15 minutes during the event. Does anyone have any questions on the menu items before we get into what it's going to look like on the day of the event, how you interact with the attendees? All right. So we're going to enter our event from the Events tab. We're going to find our event here, select the arrow, access booth. Perfect. Now it does look a little bit different than from what it did last year for those who did participate in last year's event. But you'll see here you have a preview icon. So if you want to open up your booth again, just to look at it, maybe you made some last minute changes before the event, you can take a look at that. Then you have a countdown clock, so you can keep track of how much time is left within the event while you're in it, and 3 tabs in here. So first one being a visitors tab. You'll have your show all is actually a newly feature here. You can find any person who has come to your booth during this event under the show all tab. And then active is actually going to show you every active attendee who's currently in your booth. They're going to have an indicator here with a little green dot next to their avatar photo here. To start a conversation with an attendee, all you need to do is click on their name, and your one-on-one conversation will start here on the right side. Now, before you even start to chat, you can take a look at that attendee's profile to learn a little bit about them first. By clicking on the little icon here, it'll open up for you. You can see their general information, their resumes, video resumes, and work experience if they've added any. Now, you also have the ability to leave these statuses here. Interview scheduled and hired are, very big ones. So if you do end up scheduling interviews out of this event or hiring anybody out of the event, you want to mark this information. You can also provide rankings and notations. This information will not be visible to attendees. However, the attendees will be able to see if you do mark any of these statuses. If you're interested in them, you want to follow up, interview was scheduled, or if you've hired them out of the event. After you've kind of read a little bit about them, maybe you found a conversation starter through their work experience, their resume, or even where they're located, you can select one of your preset messages to send to your attendees, or you can type it in here. Now, once they have received your message, they can go ahead and answer you there. You'll see them, they're typing the little 3 dots there, and you can start your one-on-one conversations. Now, let's say the conversation's going well and you want to do a video chat. Maybe you want to interview this person, or maybe just typing out messages back and forth is just not for you, and you'd rather do the face-to-face talking, which is completely fine. I'm the same way. So what you can do here is, first, you always want to ask if they're available for video chat. Not everyone has a video camera, so go ahead and ask them first. And then once they reply back yes, then you can go ahead and send that invitation. So you'll click one-on-one call here. Your browser is going to ask you to allow your camera and microphone. So in order for this to work, you must click allow. So don't click block, don't exit it, click allow. Then you'll see yourself in the top right corner here. On the attendees end, just to show you, this is what it will look like for them. So while they're in your booth, they'll say, you've been invited to a video conference. Your recruiter name will be here. Your name again, the organization that you're with invites you to join a conference. So they can click join here. Okay. Now, what it looks like here, you will be in the top right corner as the recruiter. The attendee is in the middle here. So you guys can start talking one-on-one. Perfect. Now, you as a recruiter have some action items here at the bottom. You can toggle your view. So if you want to take your view away, still look at the attendee, that's fine. Just remember that they can still see you. You just can't see yourself. Then you can turn your video off. So if you did need to turn your video off, you could do that. There is a live chat. So for some reason, if you guys need to use this live chat system while talking with each other via video, there's that capability. You can also record these sessions. So if you did want to record, you could record this in here. You can also share your screen. So let's say you wanted to present the attendee with something. Maybe you're showing them a detailed description of the job that you all are talking about through your website. You can share your screen. There is ability to do full screen in here as well. You can, use some of these doodling icons here to circle information, underline information, highlight information that you're showing. You can stop sharing your screen from here as well. Exit out of full screen. You can view all the participants that are in this call with you. So you and the attendee, and you can also add participants. So let's say one of your coworkers, you want them to be in on this video call with you and the attendee. Your presenters list is going to be every user from your booth. So if you want to invite someone to join this call with you from your organization, you can click on their name here. You can have up to 50 people in one of these sessions at a time. So we'll invite them. And these are demo people, so they're not actually going to join. But if they were to join, we'd have them all stacked up here. The attendees video would get a little bit smaller, but you all as presenters would be available and you guys could talk and chit chat. Now, if you wanted to add more attendees, you could also do that. Click into your attendees list here. This list is going to show you every attendee that has come to your booth or that is currently in your booth. You can ask them to join. So you can select any of your attendees to join here and invite more attendees. So this can become a more group video, like an open forum. Everyone can see each other, chat with each other, share their screens. And then when it's over, you can click leave conference. See, there's a question in the system here.
Jordan, I'm going to answer the question because it has to do with the job seeker demographics rather than the platform.
Okay, great. All right. So does anyone have any questions on the group video feature or how to initiate a one-on-one call and turn it into, a group call? Okay. And outside of, starting a video conference when you're chatting with an attendee, you have the ability to do that, outside of your chat conversation. So, let's say you want to do video conference rather than one-on-one. The group call is basically what I just, showed to you. It's a way for multiple users of an organization and attendees to participate in a group video. So everyone can see each other, just like we do in Zoom. Everyone has their microphone on, they're chatting or they're listening. There's a live chat feature, presentation feature to use, share screen. That's what group video is. Now, presentation is a little bit different. It's a webinar style. Only presenters are visible. So before, where we could see the attendee, in the presentation mode, only the presenter is visible. So the attendees can't see each other via video. I'm not, as a presenter, you can't see those attendees via video. They don't have microphone access. They simply just use the live chat for that. So I'll show you what presentation mode looks like. We'll add our co-host or co-presenters, the users from our booth. Then we'll add our attendees and start. So I'm the presenter up here. You can also see that if I go to show participants, Jordan is the attendee that's in this session. However, we can't see her this time. It's only made for us to be able to, as presenters, present our screen, show our slideshow or our presentation here. and just have everyone, view what we're presenting. The live chat feature is available here. So if they do have questions for you, just like we're doing right in here, I can't see you guys. So this is the webinar style that we have in the platform, and we have the Q&A or chat, live chat available right in here for the attendees. Any questions on the presentation mode? All right, perfect. Now, over here in the submitted resume section, this is the area in which you'll find any attendee that has submitted their resume to one of your jobs. So let me actually get one of those in here for you so I can show you what that looks like. Once they have submitted their resume to you, it falls right into the section. However, you still have access to the attendees' resumes that visit your booth, even if they don't drop it in. So before, when I showed you that, you could view a profile of an attendee, it's the same, right in here. Let me exit out of full screen here. So you can see Jordan here. If I wanted to view her profile, I can view it from here. I can also see the job that she submitted her resume to and download her resume. Now, even if she hadn't submitted her resume, because she's a visitor, all I need to do is click on her name from the visitors list, and I have access to her profile. So even for those who don't submit resumes, as long as they're a part of your visitor list, you can view their profile. Then the scheduling area is for only if, someone has gone in and submitted time to set aside with you. You'll be able to join your sessions from here, which will take you right into your chat conversations. From there, for that 15 minutes, you can either chat with them, or you can submit a video invitation to do, a one-on-one video interview or meeting. Over here in your chat column, you have My Chats, which will show you every single chat conversation you're having with attendees. And Show All is going to show every conversation that's being held in your booth. So your conversations, your other users of your booth, all of those conversations will be listed. You can pop into, any one of your conversations or theirs from the Show All tab. They can do the same, pop into your conversations and theirs from Show All. Now, internal chat is a way for you and your users of your booth to communicate with each other during the event. So you guys can either chat with each other internally, via chat, or, which I would highly recommend, using the video conferencing feature. You guys can all meet like 10 minutes before the event, discuss the game plan, who's going to be doing video conferences, who's going to be setting aside time to interview people, who's needing to be manning the chat as visitors come in. So those types of conversations that need to be held before the event, you can do the internal chat feature and just text away, or you guys, someone can initiate a video, a group call, and invite all of everyone from the group here next, and then skip the attendees list and just start having a conversation with all your users. Anyone have any questions on the interaction piece? All right, perfect. Now, once the event is over, you want to click back in here, and you can get to your Manage Event section from here, where you'll see all the details of how many attendees visited, active who are still in, messages, submitted resumes, interview scheduled, hired. This information is only going to be available if you mark it on the attendee profiles. So make sure that you do mark that information so you have that reporting back, and also that the host has this reporting back as well. It's very important. Then you have the attendees list, all the attendees that came to your booth. You have access to their profiles again, in which you can revise this information. So let's say it's a week after the event, you had an interview scheduled, but you end up hiring this person. You can update the status, you can update your notes. This is always going to be available for you here, after the event as well. And then your reports tab again, just click into the report type and generate to receive your reporting. But that is all on the platform. Does anyone have any questions? Well, our platform, if that's a platform question, is US and international. I mean, anyone can use the system, but this particular event, I would think is just for the area, right, Michelle?
We do see employers post other positions, but it's mainly targeted to North Carolina roles.
Yeah.
But as things have shifted, there are remote positions, and you can note that in your job posting, location or remote. This is a lot of information. We have recorded the webinar, so we will send the recording out to everyone if you want to reference that as you're setting up your job booth. We can take any additional questions. We've got a few minutes left. If anyone has a question or wants to go back and see something again.
And what I'm showing here is just the attendee point of view. So this is what it looks like on their end. So when they're in the lobby, they'll have all of you listed here. They can click into any one of your booths, view the information, view the About Us section. If you're, more of an informational booth, they can click into your, let's see, job postings here. So click into job postings. They can view your postings, click into it, submit their resumes. They can also leave notes to themselves that they can review back later. And to chat with you, they'll just click in chat. If you do send them a chat message first, so for example, get my booth over here, they'll have an indicator. So they'll be able to see if you do send them a message first. So I'll show you here. Make more sense if I did that.
We do have a question about the job seekers that are registered. And what I'll say about that is it really differs from Job Expo to Job Expo. We've had Job Expos with a few hundred job seekers all the way up to well over 1,000. And we don't see a lot of activity with job seekers registering until the last week or even just the days leading up to the live event. So we can keep you posted as we get closer to March 9th. It is a chicken and egg scenario too. So as we are signing up more companies to participate, we heavily promote the last few weeks. So our promotion strategy is very broad. We send out press releases. We get good coverage in the media and on the tech wire. We do some smaller ads and marketing on social media. And then we have a lot of partners, education partners, military, economic development and workforce boards. So we really work with a whole web of partners to help market and promote the Job Expo broadly. The other question that was asked through Q&A had to do with the experience of job seekers. And we never know for a particular future Job Expo, but we typically see well over 50% of job seekers with 6 to 9 or 10 plus years of experience. So that's the demographic. We give them ranges and ask them if they'll share what their experience is. And so we do skew more to seasoned or more experienced job seekers. All right, Jordan, I'll turn it back to you.
Sure. Yes, that's actually a great question. Do employers sometimes market promote the event as well? Any help with that? Yeah, that would be great. I heavily encourage the employers to do so on your social media. Let them know you're going to be there, what time it is. The attendee link is in the chat there. So if you want to provide that on your your social media, that helps a lot. And for them to know that you're going to be there will draw attention. That's the only kind of way you can market, visitors to your booth, really.
And Emily just posted here, in your employer packet, it will have things like hashtags and some sample language that you can use. Emily or myself, we can get you an updated graphic that you can use. Every time we get new employers signed up, we are updating our graphic on our website that lists and includes all the logos for participating employers. And then we also tag employers when we post on social media. So we definitely encourage you to also retweet or reshare on LinkedIn. All right. I don't see anything new.
Was there anything that I did show, or anything that I did not show that you wanted to see on the platform? Okay.
All right. I think we've got it covered. Again, we know that this is a lot of information. So we hope that you can refer back to the recorded version, and then also the materials that we sent to each employer that has some step-by-step information. It is user-friendly once you get into the system and you get used to the platform. I will say it is user-friendly, and we, NC Tech, have our own virtual booth in the Job Expo. We are also the help desk, so folks will come to us and ask questions about employers. So we are responsive and engaged with job seekers on that day. And then Premier Virtual's team will be available the day of the Job Expo. So if there's any technical questions during the live event or shortly before we start, they'll be available to help assist as well.
Yes, and just to refer back to the training tab that is in the platform. If you ever need to review information, we do have step-by-step videos that go over a specific part within the platform. So if you want to review the menu items again, or settings in your profile, your booth setup, we have every entity for you as an organization sectioned off into a video. How to manage your event, grab your reporting. So the interaction piece, if you want to review that, that is the last video in here, and then also how to retrieve your reporting. The most up-to-date user guides available, you can go right in and download it. So if you're not really a video person, you can look at a step-by-step guide as well. Then of course you have myself and Michelle and Emily if you have any questions. And I will leave my email. I'm not sure if I'm sure that information was provided to you all in your emails, but I'll place it here in the chat for those who may need that, as well as my office number. You'll see me pop in during the event as an attendee, so I'll be checking in with you all to, if you have any questions during the event, something comes up, or you just need an explanation on something, you'll be able to chat with me via chat during the event.
Actually, Emily just posted an information in chat here about our job expos in 2022. We have 3 that we're doing this year. The past 2 years, we've offered 2, one in the spring and one in the fall. In 2021, we had 1,000 job seekers registered for the spring event and 500 registered for the fall event. We did get very good feedback from participating employers for the October job fair. Even though the numbers were lower in job seekers, they seemed to be very pleased with the caliber of candidates that they were meeting. So it's one of those things that we just don't know. So we do quite a bit of promotion. So we do our best to one, find the most qualified candidates and encourage them to register, and number 2, have large numbers of qualified candidates. So That is definitely our strategy and our objective for each of the job expos. So this is the first year since COVID that we are offering 3. And then the other thing to mention from last year in terms of participating employers, we have some employers that do every single job expo with us. They don't miss one. So this is part of their talent attraction strategy, is participating in every single one. We have some employers that come and go based on the availability of roles that they have available. We had last year more than 50 unique employers participated in one or both of the job expos last year. So that's just a few of the stats. If you're not already signed up to participate, we'd love to talk to you, or you can just easily go online and sign up as an employer and reserve your booth. For those already signed up, we are promoting you as a tech hirer, and we will continue to do that and look forward to having you participate live on March 9th. Thank you, Jordan. We appreciate the partnership with Premier Virtual, who is also a member of NC Tech, and we'll be connecting with you offline. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you.